time now for our manager interview presented by Sage. Pat Murphy is in his first year managing in Milwaukee. He's done a standout job, that club with a 6-game lead in the NL Central. Pat, it's Brian Kenny. Congratulations on the success so far and welcome aboard.
Thanks, Brian.
Biggest move for your club seemed to be Frankie Montas. What does he do for your rotation?
Yeah, I think a veteran coming in that can log some innings like that, very important for us, and we're excited to have him.
Yeah, your rotation, it's last in the majors in innings, but you're 16th in ERA, so you've got quality there. How do you feel about your rotation? Why is that what it is?
Yeah, I think that, everybody knows we lost Corbin in a trade. We lost Woody. We lost Miley. We lost Gasser. We haven't had the best of luck health-wise, but those guys, other guys have stepped up and done an incredible job. You know, a kid like Savali comes in June and steps right in, fits right into our deal, and it's been great. Speaking
of injuries, Christian Yelich, who's having a marvelous season with the hurt back. What's the latest with him?
Yeah, he's trying to work through it. He wants to get back on the field as soon as possible, but you know how those back things do. This guy has avoided injury for 12 years, and it's rough right now. It's rough.
Any type of timetable or thought on him being back this year?
Yeah, I think he's going to do everything in his power to be back, and they're working through it right now, doing everything they can to get him back on the field. But there is really no timetable, but we're staying on top of it day to day. He's got a great attitude, and the guys know he's chomping at the bit to get back on the field.
Okay, Jackson Chourio, meantime, is heated up, another outfielder. Since early June, slugging well over 500. He's only 20 years old. Again, when he was having, Pat, that rough start, what were you thinking early?
Well, I mean, you know the kid has tremendous talent, you know. Old scouts, young scouts, everybody assured us, like, this guy can play. Everybody in our system that have seen him. He got off to a slow start, but what a kid. You know, the way he handled it, the character that he displayed, the way the rest of our guys took him in because of the type of kid he is, that just made the huge difference. And now he's been able to come into his own a little bit more and still got a ways to go, but he's special.
Another guy who's had a very good year is Bryce Terang for you. Even on Sunday, we even rolled them out. Bryce Terang had these back-to-back catches in the third inning. By the way, I had him on my all MLB Now team, Pat, because he's one of these guys with defense and base running. Devin Williams called him the best defensive second baseman in the league by far. You tell me what you see.
Well, if you're with him every day, it's hard not to feel that way. He makes play after play. You just come to expect it. I mean, and the guy plays with energy every single day. He's soft-spoken, but this guy comes to play. He loves it. He comes from a pretty good lineage of baseball. And, yeah, I mean, we couldn't be happier when you see a guy like that go out there. You don't want anybody else. So I truly understand Devin's comments.
Now, speaking of Williams, I mean, this is a guy who could be the #1 closer in the game. He's been back for one game. What does he do for your team?
It's amazing. You talk about trade deadline. You know, we don't put much into that. We know who we are. We haven't got to where we are because of, acquisitions. We've gotten to who we are because of who's on the bus. You know, what guys have decided to put their head down and play. And now to bring back a guy like Devin Williams, who's been part of this from the beginning, and he stayed connected to the team the whole time while he was injured. Now to have him active, it'll be a big bonus for us.
You know, it's interesting that the Brewers aren't as transactional. Obviously, they're seen as one of the more intelligent teams out there. But what do you make of that, in that some teams on the trade deadline are busy, right? They're just getting after it. Not your club. You mentioned a little bit about that philosophy, like, no, this is our club. Tell me what you think about that.
Yeah, I don't know how intelligent we are down here on the bus, but upstairs they're pretty intelligent. We're just interested in moving forward. You know, if somebody comes to our club, if we get an acquisition, we want to make sure they get what we're about. And, we've been doing this a while, and if they get what we're about, they can help us. There's nobody going to come in and save this deal. It's about us keeping to what made us great.
I know, because we talk about winning the winter, winning the trade deadline, and all that. I know Buck Showalter, years back when he was with the Orioles, had said, hey, what about developing your team? How about that team is your team? Is there something to that? It's like, hey, we've got to do something for this club to add guys. As a manager, Are you more comfortable with what you're doing, or do you say, oh, it's fine if you can keep adding talent? Because when you add talent, you're pushing other guys off.
Well, I mean, there's nothing wrong with adding talent. You know, I mean, there's nothing wrong with getting guys that are huge impact to your ball club. But if they're not going to be a huge impact and maybe on paper a slight upgrade, I think it's better to stick with what you have. But if you can make big impact, yeah, sure, do it. We're not in that position, so we do what we do, and you don't complain or explain. You just go after it.
You know, you're 15 over 500. You're in first place. I remember talking to you in spring training. What were you thinking then? Because, again, there are young clubs on the rise in that division. Did you think you would be where you are now?
I don't think anybody thought we were going to be where we are now, and I wasn't even thinking about August. You know what I mean? I was thinking about head down, how do we get through spring training? How do we galvanize a group that's going to go forward in a certain way and have a certain uncommon kind of energy and uncommon approach? And how do we do that? How do we get all the guys to rally together? How do we get the pillars of our team? 8 out of our 13 position players are basically first-year players. 8 out of 13. So if you got that many first-year freshmen, you've got to have those pillars, the Hoskins, the Yelich, the Adames. You got to have those guys step up and lead that group, and they've done that.
All right. Again, Milwaukee rubber match today with the Braves. Pat Murphy, our guest. Pat, great talking to you, and best of luck the rest of the way.
Thank you very much. Great talking to you.